All right, let's dive right into this explainer. Today, we are exploring one of the absolute most famous moments in modern TV history, but we're going to flip it entirely on its head. You know the one, but instead of that highly romanticized airport reunion, we are imagining an alternate timeline, the one where Rachel Breen actually doesn't get off the plane. It's literally the ultimate what if question, right? But hey, rather than focusing on what this means for Ross and Rachel's romance, because we've all heard that a million times, we are shifting the focus completely. We want to look at how this single, divergent decision would forever alter the life of one specific person, their daughter, Emma. I mean, it sounds like a simple change, but as you'll see, it creates a future filled with some really difficult choices, and a childhood literally split between two entirely different worlds. Section 1, the alternate ending, the moment everything changed. Let's rewind a bit and change the key variable here. Imagine Rachel decides that her dream job in Paris is, well, simply too important to give up. Walk through this rapid cinematic sequence in your mind for a second. Step 1, Rachel boards the plane. Step 2, the cabin doors close. Step 3, the flight actually takes off. Just like that, in a matter of literally minutes, Emma's future completely transforms into this unprecedented reality of long-distance parenting. Section 2, the logistical reality. Parenting across the Atlantic. We really have to ground this what-if fantasy in the harsh, practical reality of raising a kid across an entire ocean. Because let's be real, neither Ross nor Rachel would willingly disappear from Emma's life, right? Their dedication is absolute. But look at these casualties of the distance. Emma just wouldn't see both parents regularly. You've got split birthdays, holidays become these massive, complicated juggling acts. And school events, those are suddenly happening over video calls. The physical absence creates a heavily fragmented and honestly, logistically nightmarish schedule. Section 3, two very different worlds. Paris versus New York. Now, it isn't just about the distance. It is about these starkly contrasting environments Emma would bounce between as she grows up. Just look at the sensory contrast we've got here. On the one hand, Rachel's Paris offers exposure to a whole new culture, international schools, and a super glamorous career in fashion. But then, back in New York, Ross provides steady stability, weekend museum visits, and of course, the dinosaur facts Emma never actually asked for but definitely always received. It's a really fascinating split. Section 4, the emotional impact. Caught in the middle. Growing up bouncing between adventure and stability carries a pretty heavy psychological weight. And here's the crucial point. Even when parents do absolutely everything right, and neither parent is the villain here, not at all, separation still leaves a child with complex emotions. One week, Emma's missing her dad. The very next, she misses her mom. As she gets older, she'd naturally start comparing her family to friends whose parents live together. And that's going to lead to periods of frustration and confusion simply because she is caught right in the middle of two totally distinct worlds. Section 5, shaping Emma's future. The best of both worlds. But, it's really not all heavy stuff. As Emma becomes a teenager and starts forming her own identity, she's presented with this incredible opportunity to pull from both of her parents' worlds. I mean, she's the product of two very different people. From Rachel, she'd likely inherit a lot of confidence and really sharp social instincts. And from Ross, she'd gain deep intelligence and this sort of endless curiosity. Put that together, and it creates a highly capable young woman who is uniquely equipped to succeed in literally either environment. And all of this leads to one major defining characteristic: adaptability. Emma's constant switching of perspectives actually becomes a massive strength. By navigating multiple cultures and long-distance family dynamics her whole life, she would develop incredible resilience. She'd probably become independent way earlier than her peers. And because maintaining relationships across an ocean requires so much effort and emotional maturity, her communication skills would be exceptionally strong. She would possess a remarkably broad worldview. Now, this actually challenges a massive pop culture trope, the idea that separated parents guarantees some sort of childhood tragedy. As this really highlights, what matters most isn't whether parents live together, but whether they provide love, support, stability, and healthy relationships. Ross and Rachel definitely had their flaws, for sure, but they shared an unwavering love for Emma. If they remained committed co-parents, her life wouldn't be ruined. It would just be wonderfully, beautifully complex. So, to summarize this whole alternate reality, Emma would undoubtedly have a different childhood. It would feature way more airports than most kids ever see. It would involve a lot more video calls and, inevitably, more painful goodbyes. But on the flip side, it would also provide far more experiences, more perspectives, and a much deeper understanding that families come in many different forms. The core takeaway from our explainer today is that while her life wouldn't follow some perfect traditional script, different absolutely does not mean worse, especially when a child is fully supported by two committed parents making the absolute best of the situation they have. Which leaves us with a final, provocative thought to end on today. Knowing all the logistical hurdles, the emotional costs, and the incredible cultural benefits of living between New York and Paris, how does you think Emma's life would have truly turned out? Would navigating this complex, dual-world childhood have made her undeniably stronger and more adaptable? Or do you think the constant goodbyes means she would have missed out on something fundamentally important? It is a fascinating alternate reality to ponder. Keep questioning the stories you know, and we'll catch you in the next explainer.